River Point Resort and Outfitting is one of Ely, Minnesota's most beautiful and scenic resorts. Nestled at the tip of our own private peninsula on the shore of Birch Lake, our first-class cabins are fully furnished with Wi-Fi and provide amazing views into the scenery of Superior National Forest. Our amenities list is unmatched in the area and includes sandy beaches with all of the water toys you could want. The marina has beautiful docks for your boat, and our rental boats and pontoons are first class. Birch Lake offers some of the country's finest fishing for walleye, northern pike, and smallmouth bass. Whether you're fishing on your own or with one of our guides, you will experience fishing like never before. Hiking around our beautiful property is another fun activity for the guests, and our peaceful trails calm and relax you. A new sauna and garden shower building is new to River Point to melt away the stress of life. If canoeing is your passion, let our outfitting service set up a paddle that you will never forget. We provide the finest equipment and food for your enjoyment with the Boundary Waters Canoe Area as your playground. So join us for the trip of a lifetime. For more information, check us out online at www.riverpointresort.com.
Hey sportsmen, John Bergsman here with a fantastic lake preview of one of my favorite places to go. And this isn't a lake preview, this is an area preview, a regional preview. And that preview is of Ely, Minnesota. You know, Ely is one of those unique places that you literally have to visit sometime in your lifetime. It sits right on the edge of Minnesota's famous Boundary Waters Canoe Area wilderness. And that is a region where it's literally off limits to engines and anything other than personal power. That's right, canoes or kayaks. But there's lots of water right on the fringe of the Boundary Waters that is accessible and fishable by boat. And so we're going to talk just a little bit about both. You know, the Boundary Waters Canoe Area wilderness is famous. National Geographic, all kinds of different people have featured this particular region. And what it offers is the most amazing fishing possibly anywhere in North America. The smallmouth bass, the walleye, the northern pike are three major species of fish that people come to target when they go to the BWCAW, which it's commonly referred to as. And one of the best ways to do this is initially to go out with an outfitter and a guide who takes you and the people in your party out to known places where he's been many, many times before and tells you how to present your bait. That gets you on the fish quickly, and it also saves you from fishing wrong spots or wrong presentations. I recently had been on a trip up there, never been to a body of water. We probably caught over 25 bass on a topwater lure, and I wouldn't have thought to throw that lure necessarily in that circumstance. So having that guide with me to point me and our party in the right direction was critical. And that's called the outfitting services there out of Ely. And there's many resorts to choose from out of the Ely area. There is literally resorts on almost every major body of water up there, whether it's in the park or just on the fringe of the park. Now, if you're talking about boat fishing in Ely, same species apply. You're really going to be targeting walleye, smallmouth bass, northern pike, but you can also throw crappie and perch and bluegill into that mix. The pan fishing on some of the lakes just in and around the Ely area is fantastic, and in fact can actually be the draw. When you're fishing out of a boat in the Ely area, you're typically going to be starting in that same normal progression as always. That spring bite is going to be a shallow water bite for smallmouth, northerns, and walleye. The crappies and the bluegills are going to be in the back bays. And I'm going to say it is a little bit of a northern community, so that bite is going to go a lot longer than it would traditionally go in the southern parts of the United States. In other words, the bluegill and that shallow water bite for walleye, northerns, and smallmouths could easily take you all the way through the month of June, which is quite a long time. Then when you get to the July bite, you're going to go ahead and move offshore, to rock piles and mid-lake structures, and you're going to be jig fishing, rig fishing with live bait to catch these same species. You certainly could use artificials in many of these places, as these fish haven't seen a lot of lure action and bait action, so they're really actually quite easy to catch both on live bait and artificials. I know most of the guides will take their customers out and they'll fish small artificial worms, or they'll fish jigs, minnows, and grubs, jigs, leeches, and grubs, jigs and crawlers, or spinners and crawlers. All of those presentations that are familiar to walleye fishermen and or bass fishermen, they're going to work fine here at Ely. You know, one of the things that you have to remember when you come to Ely is it is an experience, meaning this is scenery like you may never see again when you're fishing. It is rock cliffs, bald eagles soaring. There's the very real chance of seeing real wildlife like bears or moose out in the wild in their element. And so Ely isn't just always about the fishing, although the fishing's fantastic. It is truly about the experience. So if you're looking for one of those bucket list destinations, one of those places that you simply have to put on your calendar to do, Ely, Minnesota, the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness has got to be one of those stops. This is John Bergsma with the Fisherman's Digest. Thanks for listening to our area fishing preview for Ely, Minnesota.